spin that motherfucking wheel. Yeah, every time I go blank, we spin the motherfucking wheel. So now we spinning the motherfucking wheel. Here we go. I'm starting to think y'all clicking these motherfuckers on purpose now, man. For real, man, because I had a very interesting time last time I did acid, and it was, because now they have these, now they got all these type of new ways for you to do drugs and shit. But what they have is they have these acid drops. It almost look like Visine drops, but it's acid. You know what I'm saying? You can put it like on the sugar cube or do some shit like that. So me and my homies, we decided to do this acid. And I was like, all right, that's cool. We'll do it. It was like a Monday at like 6 p.m. or something. Just randomly just decides to do acid at Monday on 6 p.m. You get what I'm saying? But whatever. So we do it. I take a couple drops on my tongue, hang out for a minute. Nothing really happened immediately. Obviously that's the thing. So like, fuck it, man. Let's put some music on. Let's get the vibe. Maybe I'll make a song or something. I started making songs and shit, started working out, writing lyrics and shit, doing regular music shit. The next thing I know, something just tells me, you just need to lay down. You probably should just lay down. I goes to lay down. When I close my eyes, all I see is like castles, like a magical land. I don't know if it's like some Game of Thrones type. I'm in a kingdom. I'm in a motherfucking kingdom. That's all I know. And next thing I know, I just see Devil's Night happen to the kingdom. That's what happened. Shit just started going on fire. Motherfuckers buildings crumbling. So by the time, it was damn near like I guess I was in a war in my mind. You know me, I started thinking all extra deep and shit. Like maybe this is the war in myself. Like I'm becoming a whole new person. This is the kingdom being crushed. Like I remember if you go to Target, those like big red, big balls and shit. I remember like at the end, like I seen just a whole bunch of shit, like pillars and shit fall and everything. And then everything just went to dust. And all I see is like one of these big cement ass balls just bouncing past me like boom, boom. And I can hear it too. And that's what's fucking me up anymore. So I'm so fucked up. And then once I see like an overview of the city, and it's just like everything all burning on fire and everything all smoky and shit. So I'm already emotional and shit right now because I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what is God trying to show me? So after I come out of that, if anybody know what the Aha Take On Me video looked like, that's what everybody else looked like. So I'm sitting there talking to my homie. He's not realized I'm looking at a sketched version of him. And he just looking at me and he talking to me, and I could just see him. He just look at me and he says, damn, Danny, you fucked up. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of going through it right now, So I was like, the best thing to do, I guess, like the Beatles and, George Clinton, all those type of motherfuckers, they fucked up on acid. Shit, the best thing they do is they start recording music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck it, put some beats on. And I put some headphones on. I could barely stand up. I took my shirt off, took my shoes and socks off and shit. I was so hot and sweating and shit. And I just set myself in a chair in front of a microphone and they cut on beats and I just randomly said something. So you can hear those few songs on my new album too. That's coming out soon. It worked out pretty great. So yeah, it was pretty fun, man. It was pretty fun. So yeah, I would say it was a great trip to say the least. You get what I'm saying? But I'm still always baffled by what that meant. By seeing my whole kingdom collapse in front of my eyes. Like, what does that mean? Because at the time I was going through a crazy breakup and shit too. And it was just so much going on in my life. I was like, what does this mean? I think part of me going through that acid trip is why I'm in Austin, Texas today too. So shouts out to the liquid acid drops. Like I was telling Time too, they got the DMT vape pens, which are really great. Cause if anybody have done DMT before, when you do it like you do a rip, that's a lot. It's kind of like, you're going to fucking blast off. The DMT vape pens, you can kind of guide yourself. You can kind of microdose yourself into that. You don't have to blast all the way off if you don't want to, but you can kind of like, just a little dab or do your type of situation, see a little colors, see a little weird shit. And be like, oh, I don't want to go too far with that. And that's cool. So I used to do DMT every Sunday. I called it DMT church. I did DMT every Sunday for like a few months. And it was really like therapy for me. It really worked out. But I think I was just starting to do it too much and it was starting not to really work that much. But I guess the craziest shit I seen on DMT is just like when shit just turned like to a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like I really felt like I was in like the maze of Pac-Man, like looking at the Pac-Man maze. This is actually beautiful shit. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. And so that's why sometimes they be like, man, we in a simulation and shit like that. When you do DMT or like any of those psychedelics, I think that's when I start to really question that shit. Because the type of shit, because I remember one time doing DMT and just the whole room, everything just broke down. It was like I could hear it clicking. Like everything like broke down like Matrix, like in cubes and shit, like geometric shapes and shit. So yeah, that's one thing, You get what I'm saying? But I will say, it is like a ego death type of thing. You get what I'm saying? So probably I remember one time the worst thing I could have did was I used to go to the flotation center, the float tanks and shit. You get what I'm saying? Because I really like it was like I was trying to stop smoke cigarettes at the time, so that was like a good way. It actually helped me too, and I actually stopped smoking cigarettes. And one of my friends, he was like, "Yo, we should do acid in the float tank." I don't know what made him come up with this idea. Terrible idea. It was a terrible idea. But I'm like, because I'd take a shit ton of edibles and I go in there. And I've actually like seen some creepy shit and like, really felt like I was tripping or seen some shit. Even one time, I remember my phone number from middle school. I don't know why, but my phone number from middle school just popped into my brain because I remember writing it down on papers to girls all the time. Yeah, I used to go to float tanks and shit. And it really did help me. I will say it did stop me from smoking cigarettes and shit. But my friend just had to take it to the extra level. He like, yo, we should take acid and go to the float tank. And I was like, I mean, I'm never the person to question things, obviously. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Let's try this. And while we were on our way, we were listening to the rock band Ghost. If anybody know about Ghost, it's this whole things just sound wrong from the beginning. We're on our way to the float tank. Yeah, these niggas. We on our way to the float tank, listening to Ghost, about to drop acid. You get what I'm saying? So we take the acid when we get to the float tank. And soon as I get in the motherfucker, I just see this nigga face. I just see this face. Soon as I just see his face, like some real double-listic shit going on right now. I don't think I lasted 15 minutes in the tank. And I used to do like an hour and a half, 2-hour sessions sometimes. So I came right out like in 15 minutes. And the bitch at the desk, she was like, oh, you must be having a good time today. Like she seen it. Like my hair was still wet. The desperation was in my eyes. I just want to get the fuck out of here. You get what I'm saying? And the crazy part about that, my friend that gave me the ass, I ain't seen his ass since. I swear. I'm like, I ain't fucking with you no more, man. That was fucked up. Why you do it? Because he fucked up my whole floating experience, man. Like, I stopped really floating like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen some fucked up shit that I ain't want to see, man. But I asked you to do that to you. But so what the fuck? Hey. But, hey, don't knock it till you try it.